So Susan Robinson, I now run the informatics unit. I was trained originally as an epidemiologist out of grad school and then started here right after. So I've gotten to basically do my whole public health career here at the department. And I'm a total nerd. I love data. I love talking about data points and graphs and all of that stuff. So what a wonderful way to have the ability to totally nerd out matter to an entire, community. I love what I do because I can see the difference it makes. I know that what I'm doing and what my team is doing, what we're providing for the state is so critical. It's so important and it totally matters. Arizona's a super unique state, which I think makes the Department of Public Health really interesting. There's so much that is unique about living here, about working here, and the populations that we get to sort of take into consideration for ourselves here. A lot of passion throughout the public health department. And I think you'll find that in the public health world in general. It's a really, really passionate group of people who really, really care about public health. I have really gotten to just kind of pursue things that are fun and interesting to me. That's not what you expect out of a job.
Arizona is battling an opioid epidemic.
The opioid epidemic was really kind of brand new. The opioid response had a lot of eyes on it. So sort of like COVID, but now that I've had COVID happen, definitely not as many eyes as COVID, but there were a lot of eyes on that and people really wanted information and they wanted data. If I think about how we move down the progression here from something like the opioid epidemic to COVID, we were already doing the dashboard stuff, right? Trying to understand how to best present information so that the public was able to consume it. But we had data coming in from a lot of different spaces. And so we had to figure out, how do you pull all this data in? How do you work with it all together to make the story? In a lot of ways, we were prepping ourselves for certainly what we didn't know was gonna come in 2020, but the opioid epidemic really set the stage for us to be ready. The stress that COVID brought was unlike any stress I think any of us had experienced professionally. What I think was unique about COVID was because it was a pandemic, there was no space in the universe that wasn't affected by COVID because it touched every aspect of our lives. Public health was putting out recommendations, trying to handle situations that were so non-traditional to public health. We all do a piece of the work, and I focus primarily on sort of our data and our systems. And so in my universe, that's really, those are the pieces. But at the end of the day, we each hold a piece here at the agency, but without the other pieces, it doesn't really make the impact. For me personally, it matters that I feel like I'm doing something that is meaningful. At the end of the day, I have to feel like I'm in a job where I'm making a difference, where I am doing a job that the world needs me to do. People come here to do a very clear job and they do it very well. The team members that are here take that and just own it and run forward with it. They know exactly how to complete the task. They know exactly how to achieve, but as a team. It's not one person, it's this team structure that's moving us forward. All walks of life can find their place within this structure. And there's opportunity to become a leader in so many different ways. If you're willing to say yes, this agency is also willing to say yes back. And I think that's really phenomenal. There's so much need for new energy into public health right now. There's such a need for people to take a fresh look at what does public health look like and what do we need to achieve. The opportunities are just, they're boundless, it feels like. They're everywhere. If you're a person who wants to add your thumbprint to sort of the new modern public health, phenomenal time to be joining sort of the ranks of those that have been working in public health for decades, all the way that those are brand new, because everyone has to be at the table right now. Everyone's got a seat at the table because we're about to make a phenomenally huge shift in the basic 101 of public health, which is so cool.